1/5 of my way to death with no direction. Ferris Bueller once said, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it." In this short documentary, I will show some small clips of my life travel and experiences. As I narrate, sit back, relax, listen to my voice and clips, or don't. I will talk about what shaped my 20 years, mostly my travel, as well as explaining one of many people's greatest fears of finding their true purpose. I hope this video reaches people also in their teens or 20s to maybe give them a path on what the road of life has in store for them. It's not meant to give you the right idea for what your life might be, but might help aid. These are just some things I'm blabbing off my head that I've learned through travel, life, and meditation. As a little kid, I had one mentor who talked about how life was a river. Your job being the captain of your own boat, of it flowing down, making the decisions on what to do. Each side stream being a choice. Some decisions may be minor, what to wear, eat, who you hang out with, but others are major decisions. As you get older, eventually graduate high school, what to do then? Now, some people are destined and they know exactly what they want to do. Become a firefighter, doctor, welder, whatever it may be. Well, not me as a little kid. I always had the idea of becoming a Navy SEAL. Why? Because Navy SEALs are cool. During my freshman year of high school, my buddy Kev Dog and I made a plan to go travel Europe, and surprisingly, this plan actually happened. After working all summer, I saved up all my summer funds from jobs I worked throughout my years in high school, and had enough money to go. My newlywed grandpa sent me off with a little bit of advice, saying that if you can find something you do for free, whether it be a hobby or something, and turn that into your career, it's not even like work. I also had one professor who had a different ideology of work. He would go up to the whiteboard and write fun and work on the whiteboard. The professor said, "See this class? These two words are spelled differently. There's a difference between fun and work." Now I understand everyone can have a different ideology of what work is, but ever since I was a little kid, I told myself that I never want a job I hated. I don't want to spend the next 3/5 of my life doing something I don't like, and that's a massive chunk of time. I feel like this is a major fear for many people, taking a job they don't like and regretting it. Society has it so that once you choose what you're studying, what your trade is, it's like falling down a giant waterfall. And as soon as you go down, it's very hard to make that decision to turn and go back. I'm fortunate enough to be studying at university and have lots of time to add to my brain development or subtract from it. But over this summer, when I traveled for 2.5 months, I saw lots of things, but more importantly, I met people. In Europe, I was free of so many stresses. Back home, I was able to see family I haven't ever seen before, haven't ever met, and family I haven't seen in a while. All of this was great, but the last few days I had a pit in my stomach. Fear to return home and facing reality, not realizing what it is I want to do in my life. After seeing 15 new countries and traveling, the excitement is now gone. Is it going to turn back into that boring 9 to 5? Which it did. I ended up working at state. But you have to make ends meet somehow. The most valuable thing I got from this trip was the random kindness that strangers showed me along the way. Clearly, from being from different places, not knowing their language, many people helped us out as we seemed stuck or lost, as we overall did 9,000 miles of traveling by train, which was a lot for 2 months. Sitting on that train for hours, staring into the different landscapes of Europe, gave me time to think, looking as though the world goes by in a blur. But over the 2 months, the blur of the different landscapes, I had those moments where I looked out the window and all I could see was darkness. But at the same time, I had those moments where I could see the sunrise and the ever-growing landscape. If I were to compare life to the train rides I took all throughout Europe, it's the longest, shortest time you will have. I'm already 1/5 of my way to death, even if I live till 100. It's hard to think how quickly this blur goes. It always keeps moving. The train of life never stops until it reaches a destination. As you look out the window on the train and everything goes by in a blur, we could possibly see this as our goals. Every time the train stops, it's reassurance that we're getting closer to our goals, that we're slowly reaching that destination, that desire. But what is it that we really desire? Is it something we actually desire, or is it something that someone else desires for you? You will always have your own thoughts and opinions, but if they're influenced by others heavily on your boat of life, yes, are you the captain? But everyone on this ship is telling me something else, something, or persuading you to go down a different river or stream. You might get off, you might stop, or if you don't want to stop, you might not. Versus the train conductor, you're on the railroad and nothing is stopping him until he gets to his next stop. It goes one way, there's no choosing different paths. You can't get the conductor to stop. It's an empty landscape. It changes slightly over time, from the fields of tulips in Amsterdam, to the vast forests of Norway and Sweden, to the open plains of Germany, eventually leading to the Alps in Austria. Finally, Amari Coast and Mount Vesuvius. These indicators of land all change with the distance. The only way we changed our distance was with time. So over time, life changes. We do, as well as long as we have the motivation to do so. To get on that train, get off, find a new one, take this train and that one, waiting for the right train late at night when very few people are out. And sometimes it's just you, and you're wrong, you doubt yourself. You ask for help and others show you a bus. You can take that to another train. You stare out aimlessly, drifting off, tired, on the verge of falling asleep as you get closer and closer to your destination, just so you can finally sleep, all to do it again. Gaining all these new experiences is great, but you never do gain a sense of belonging. I would learn experiences through others. I learned about their life, how it was growing up in their part of the world and their experiences. After that, I learned there's no right answer, no right way to live your life, no true correct way to do anything. There's always a basic human rights that everyone should have: food, shelter, water. But what's the line after that? What molds people into what they are is their experiences, which can all be different depending on what you decide to actually do and what motivates and drives an individual. No matter what you say, everyone has a goal or wants something for their own reasons, or it's to please someone else's wants or desires. Does that make you selfish for only caring about what's best for yourself? Or a push around if you do things to please others? Because life is short, going by in a blur. You can decide, only you can decide, when to get off and stop and wait for the next train, the next stop, the new place, the new goal or desire. When I graduated high school, I was asked, where do you see yourself in the future? In the heat of the moment, literally, because it was a heat wave, I said,
Sure. It's a hard question to answer. You know, where you're going to see yourself in the future. It's all about living in the present. It's today is today, you know? Tomorrow might not be here. So you got to enjoy every day for what it is.
and I stand by this today. Make the best of every day and work towards your goals, because you never know what the future has in store. So, what the future has is unknown, which is a good thing. If everyone were to know right away, the right answer would not be the wrong one. And sometimes you need to get on that wrong train to figure out how to get back on the right track to the next one.
I don't know where I'm going.